Everyone, welcome to another episode of Dapp Library. This time we have Lighthouse. We have Nandit here, who who is the founder of Lighthouse, and not just the founder. They have been a very close ally of Shardeum as well since the very beginning, and it's a very special episode. So I think we'll just start with Nandit. Hey man, Nandit, what's up? How are you doing?
Yeah, doing pretty good, man. Amazing weather here where I am. But yeah, great to be here with you all.
It's it's always good to have a chat with you. You have such a jolly nature. It's always good to connect with you. So before we start, for starters, I would like to, let's just jump into Lighthouse. So what exactly Dapp library is, where we showcase all the applications, all the dapps which are being built on Shardium, right? We introduce it to our community. So similarly, we want to talk more and more about Lighthouse, because Lighthouse has been there since day one. It is on Shardium's docs, it is everywhere. We have conducted multiple events together in the past, and all the collaborations that we've been doing. So I want to start. If you start with an introduction about what exactly is Lighthouse. So yeah, over to you, man.
Cool. First of all, yeah, thank you everyone for joining. And yeah, what we are building at Lighthouse is um, making, again, like we offer decentralized storage and encryption and access control. But the key thing to solve this was like when I was building dApps in the ecosystem, there were storage products like RV, Filecoin, and some of others there in the market, but they were tough to use and then they didn't have a lot of things. Let's say if I wanted to store my private data on it, it wasn't there. And when I was storing on these services, even speed was not that great. So, like, I had to have some centralized setup on my own to make sure that, let's say, if I'm doing a video storage, it's streaming correctly. But then when we started Lighthouse, the key thing was to make the decentralized storage easy to use for developers. Let's say we want anything around storage, be it perpetual storage. What does that mean is you can store your files long term. Let's say NFTs. NFTs, when you mint on, let's say, chain like Shardium, NFTs are there forever, but not the image or a video file behind it. So Lighthouse offers perpetual storage, which lets you store your data long term. And then we build on open source technologies like IPFS and Filecoin. And then let's say if you want to store private data, build token gated applications, you can do that. And making sure that you get the right user experience, like you can even stream 4K videos. But yeah, that's what we are building in short. But yeah, happy to expand more on each one of those points.
Sounds great. So like as you mentioned, I haven't used decentralized storage a lot. So I definitely have a lot of questions. One of such question is like as you mentioned, there were already few file storing protocols. What exactly was different, or what was the pain point there? Like you did mention that it wasn't that
Mm.
uh, people had problem. It was not easy to use. So what exactly and how Lighthouse is trying to solve that? Can you give us a more brief on that?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Let's say, let's take an example of RV because I was looking into it pretty closely. And then RV, the storage was quite expensive. They offer this permanent storage model, and storage was someday like $10 a GB, and someday it went to like $60 a GB. I'm like, are you insane? Who's gonna pay $60 a GB? You can get 2 terabytes for $60. Although right now their storage cost has gone down a bit, but still not relevant for, let's say, mass audience user. And even like if I'm a developer, I need to be concerned about my infrastructure cost. And then it was a pretty clear proposition that IPFS at that point of time have had a good product market fit out there because IPFS was a great peer-to-peer network, and it had this interesting property which is champer proof. That's because now Board APR Club, all their NFTs is on light on IPFS, and Pudgy Penguins, it's on IPFS. Every great NFT collection, blue chip, they have IPFS because of its temper proof nature. And then the problem was that okay, you have IPFS, but like there is no surety. Like if I am storing on these IPFS nodes, there is no incentivization around that. Like they can go away, or let's say if I'm using a centralized exchange and they are using IPFS, and this has happened with let's say FTX. When FTX went down, all like since it was all on centralized server, their images, it all went down with that. And then people weren't able to access. And now maybe with Trump NFTs, which just launched 1 month back, cool project, but facing similar centralized problems. But yeah, so what we are doing at Lighthouse is first of all ensuring that with the ethos of Web3, you can store your data long term, and that again doubles down on the ownership concept that you actually own your data rather than renting it at someone else's place that you just stop paying and then they just kick you out. And then the overall user experience itself, like it was slow, and then you still had to have set up a centralized server, and it was a big hassle for developers. But now with Lighthouse, you need not do any of those things, and then you can even stream easily 4K videos. You can even get privacy, encryption, access control. Let's say if you want to compete with Google Drive, the problem is Filecoin and Arweave, neither of them um, has any ability to allow you store private data on it. So why would I store my personal data on it? That's why a lot of data going into them is like public data right now. But Lighthouse solves that, and with its encryption and access control layer as well, so that you can even store private data, and which makes a lot of uh, daily data experience. Like every day, we use products which have privacy involved, which we put data in which we don't want to leak, and then um, Lighthouse solves that as well.
Sounds good, sounds good. So, there's one more thing, and I completely like, even I have this where, when people say already something exists, what's better? Or, like, why another
Hmm.
product exists. So, I similar, like, I also have a same view that there can be multiple products who can exist, and it's just, it's just good to have so many options at the end of the day. So, I want to understand, when you are building something like Lighthouse, what kind of team, or, tell us the background of the team that's
Hmm.
building Lighthouse along with you folks.
Yeah, like we are a team of builders, and then like even I as an individual, I was planning, not just planning, I like during my college time started like let's say two different startups, but due to some reasons they didn't succeed where it had to be. But when we were building Lighthouse, it was first time I wasn't building as an intention to launch a startup. And sometimes that helps a lot. Like sometimes when you deliberately are doing something, you may not end up in the right place. But when we were building Lighthouse, it was just a fun open source project. We got some grants and then we went through some hackathons. It was just a fun developer journey. So I think that's a very important lesson for some of the new builders out there, that not always you have to think that uh, like deliberately start a startup, but deliberately you should try out a lot of things, and then things can happen naturally. You will identify things in the space, and that's how I've been a developer. The first version of it, I coded myself, and then got my team member on board. Again, like our team is primarily a team of developers and builders. Although I don't code a lot nowadays, but some of the code developers, they're working with us, and definitely we have some designers and other marketing folks as well. But we are quite developer heavy, and then uh, again, like our inspiration, like my personal inspiration is okay, who are the top builders in this space? And then definitely Vitalik is one, and then even like Nischal, he has done a good job, and I think it is his third initiative after, let's say, um, Crowdfire, and then Wazirex, which is quite inspiring. Like, you know that, okay, if he was just concerned of exiting money, maybe he should have done that at the first two companies. So, again, you should definitely meet somebody in person to have opinions about them. which I wouldn't say I've spent a lot of time, but it's like just an outsider. So like I'm excited personally about builders who keep on building, who are uh, money is always a motivation, but it's like since you asked about the team, the bigger motivation is building something that can sustain time. And even when we were starting Lighthouse, we had some initial assumptions and we had to go through this whole phase on okay, we have built an MVP, who is using it, who is not using it, and then take a very practical approach. And there was a whole crypto hype where you can get delusional, but if you stay long enough and if you keep your mindset right and keep developing, like right now we saw like some of the projects they use Lighthouse along with WorldCoin to build some cool projects. So again, it's like it gives me like that kick. Oh man, WorldCoin is very cool project today, just launched today. But then last weekend, a lot of people in Paris they built on WorldCoin and used Lighthouse, and like now that satisfaction is more than anything. So I would say we are quite a team of builders, and parallelly we also had to learn a lot of scalability thing. Now we're at a phase where we are focused on okay, we have engineering and how do we now scale it. So there are some new challenges every day and now, and it's quite funny that when I was even reading about this WorldCoin people, they were like some of their founders they were just straight out of college, so they didn't had any company experience building things. So I was able to resonate. But yeah, if you get inspired by builders, if you then make friendship with builders and then um, follow the right people, that's what makes our team right now.
I mean, WorldCoin is going crazy, man. I've been seeing it everywhere, so that's there for sure. And as you mentioned that if it's meant to be, it will happen. So and that has been your approach with Lighthouse, right? It's going,
Hmm.
yeah. So, okay, I think you have already mentioned this, but I would like to get into the depth of Lighthouse. So, what I mean by that is, uh, what makes it special than other protocols out there. You did mention that you can store your private data, but how is it competitive with the other
Well,
platforms out there and everything out there that you can mention? Maybe some of the dApps being built on top of Lighthouse and stuff like that. So, yeah.
hmm. Yeah, so for example, since you mentioned encryption and access control, we have built an open source SDK which we called as Kavach, which in Hindi it means as shield. So what Kavach does is a very novel implementation of threshold cryptography, which solves two primary problems around key management. First of all, let's say if I want to store private data, and who will have the keys to that data? If I store it on the client's end, definitely great for security, but bad user experience. Because let's say we use a lot of products daily, like WhatsApp, Twitter, etc., and then we don't um, manage our own keys. So we don't want to end there as a product as well. But then what's the alternate? Either the alternate is you let one company and entity control your private keys, and then again you're subject to things like censorship, and if that goes down, everyone goes down. But what our implementation is quite novel in the sense that neither it's stored on the client side, but also it's not stored on one single node. So right now there are 5 Lighthouse nodes which store these various shards of the keys, and you as a user can easily store private file and authenticate yourself through again signatures. That could be, let's say, your MetaMask wallet when you do it on the Shardeum network, or through any other EVM or some of the non EVM ones out there as well. And then you can easily get access to your file, and then even you can easily revoke access and give access to anybody you want. Let's say if you want a particular NFT collection owner to view a file, let's say Pudgy Penguin NFT owners, you can do that through Lighthouse. Let's say if I want to build a logic where it's a private file and I want it to be opened on Yash's 30th birthday, I can do a logic like that on Lighthouse right now. Like so, even things like time logged retrieval, those kind of things can be done, and then developers can build interesting set of applications, and then you can mix it up with any on-chain logic with access control. So, and yeah, now I think that this threshold cryptography implementation can also be relevant for many Web2 uh, companies as well. We are already working with bunch of wallets, soon to be announced, but again, they will be storing some of their some pieces of their wallet keys on Lighthouse encrypted. And that again proves that okay, if it works for wallet, it should be working for any other applications because wallets private key storage is quite critical. Seed phrase is quite critical. You need not have ended up in bad hands. And then things like Coinbase, if you see them, their wallet, they give you an option that back up your seed phrase on Google Drive. And then there have been concerns that Google Drive have been running algorithms on users' data, and then um, people can people do deserve like a better alternate, and then some of our implementation definitely helps here. And then even on the perpetual storage side, that's a very interesting application that is relevant for even Web2 users as well. Like as a Web2 user, you might be using things like Google Drive, iCloud, and then at some point of time you might exceed the free quota and then you might have to buy a free like paid plan. And then just imagine this user behavior that everyone is logged into so many SaaS businesses. I have to pay for my Netflix subscription, I have to pay for my now Twitter Blue Verified, Discord has its limit. Now you are asking me to pay for my storage every month, which I might not access like every day. It's just like getting backed up. And like if I don't pay you tomorrow, you're gonna delete all my files. I think no, we can have a better model than that. And then users will realize that it saves them a cost long term. And then definitely there are benefits on the NFT sphere as well. Some Web3 native use cases like data availability. So something that came live with Lighthouse with Syscoin team. They're like building on Bitcoin blockchain. Their consensus is similar to Bitcoin and proof of work. And then on top of them, they recently launched a layer two called as Rolex. And then all that state data is being stored at a Lighthouse as well. So we're working with many Web3 native data like use cases. I already highlighted wallets as one of them. Then data availability, NFTs is good use case. Yeah, and then obviously in the Web3 space, we have seen that we should not be focusing on okay what a lot of these others are doing and how we're competing with them, but okay, can we make sure that we have the right audience that we can serve? That's I would say goes for any other chain and products out there as well. So as a team, we are less focused on what now other protocols are doing and more focused on what our users are doing. Um, but yeah, those are some of the points.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Um, so, uh, I mean, what we'll do now is we'll come back to some, how has been the support or response. Like we'll come back to the after talking things of okay. I don't know how many like there are so many people joining in. I'm just seeing them. But anyway, so we'll come down to how has been the support from the community so
Mhm.
far to Lighthouse, from the community, from the developers, and not just in Shardeum but in overall, like from the time you
Mhm.
guys launched. So
Yeah.
yeah, throw some lights there.
Yeah, I think we have definitely had a better time in many instances where we just let the community give us ideas, and then when they have some problems, we think back, okay, or rather than brainstorming features on our own, let's see what are these people asking, and then make sure that we build the right product accordingly. And I think the recent incident only, let's say if you see each CC, we weren't a sponsor there, but we still saw projects tagging us that we use these technologies. And Lighthouse was one of them, along with let's say WorldCoin, Sysmo, and some of other layer one, layer two chains and some messaging protocols as well. So when you see naturally people using your product in hackathons, when even your team is not involved, you didn't give a session, you didn't sponsor anything, that's a very important thing as a builder that gives you kick. But yeah, overall communities have been helpful. One thing that has been done pretty well in the blockchain ecosystem is even that these communities are in a separate country like itself. Let's say Shardium, and then Ethereum is there, Polygon is there, Solana is there. So if you are there to provide the right value to your community, you get things back. Let's say with Shardeum team, we did some like Ravish, our CTO, he gave a streaming video plus token gating session on a session previously. So that was very helpful. I saw like 400 people joining there, and then we had some bounties together, and that was quite fun. And then we see that definitely some of the folks from Shardim community comes to Lighthouse, and then but it was a genuine curiosity of our team as well, that okay, what is Shardium doing, and then how can we genuinely contribute to this ecosystem. And then let's say optimism. Let's take an example of optimism. Like there are a lot of layer twos right now in the market, but now you see WorldCoin is moving to optimism. There is like things like Coinbase launching their base on optimism. Other chains like Binance is forking optimism and launching one on Binance. And then if you compare with other Ethereum L2s, you will see that, oh, Optimism is more expensive than Arbitrum. Optimism has less volume than Arbitrum, but why is everyone building on Optimism? So you learn from them that, oh, if you provide real value and if you make it like a public good, then builders will come. And I've been a fan of that approach. And some of those things that we are doing at Lighthouse, there are teams, there is like one or two teams out there who provide encryption and access control, but then their code is closed source. Ours is open source. So somebody at the other day they told me that they're creating this new wallet, and they went through our GitHub and have been using some of our threshold SDKs. So sometimes it helps, like when you open source things, people come, and then but it takes time, it takes patience, but yeah, sometimes we see people building blogs and tagging Lighthouse, so that is interesting, but it's just the surface. I hardly think we are just 1% there yet. There's a lot more things to be done.
So definitely, like as you mentioned, that's an organic growth, or organic support that you've been getting, that people are just building on in each CC even though you folks were not there. So that's pretty interesting to hear. And then, like as you mentioned, that providing value. So completely agree on that front. um I think I have covered all the questions that I had. Maybe this is the time where what you do is you share your screen, you take us through Lighthouse. I remember that you did mention, like when the last time we had a chat, you did mention that you folks were building something for consumers as well directly, right? And I think
Mhm.
it is live, like where people can store things directly. So can you just share your screen and
Mhm.
take us through that, and how entire Lighthouse platform looks like?
Sure, I'm gonna go. You may get.
Um,
Let me know if you can
yeah.
Google, not Cream, Google Chrome.
I'll let you
Yeah,
know
I'm better.
once I see this. As of now, I
Can
can't. But yeah, I'll let you know once I see
oh,
this.
yeah. Okay, just hold on. Let me start again once. I think there was some
You do have
issue
the
with this.
screen sharing permissions, by the way.
Ah, let me try this. It says the app doesn't have permission to record your screen. Okay, Yash, why don't we do one thing? Why don't you share your screen and we will go through lighthouse.storage from your PC, and then I can walk you through and you can upload
You
some.
don't have the access to it.
I think there is some issue with my Discord app having access to screen sharing.
The thing
Let
is,
me then.
I have let me check once, because I have multiple tabs open, and yeah, give me a second.
Hmm. Yeah, it's saying me that there is some access issue with Discord and my PC. Like it's
All right,
fine
no
from your
worries.
end, I have access, but
I'll share my screen, and I think we can take people through what's happening. So here's my
yeah,
screen.
if you can.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
It's loading. It's loading. Yes, we can.
Is it? Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Here,
So just go to lighthouse.storage
there you go.
and then click on login. Um, and yeah, it will require some signature to log in. Um, so yeah, just click on login again. This is our like Lighthouse Files app, and it's a browser edition right now that anyone can use. So maybe you can now connect with your MetaMask EVM wallet as well.
Yeah, so I think okay, now I can continue with my wallet. Cool.
I think yeah, we support Shardeum already. If you see even in the access control, but yeah, when it goes mainnet, it will be here for sure. Right now it's on testnet, so coming soon.
So now we are here.
So maybe
Yes.
maybe you can try uploading a public file for now.
Maybe what we'll do is let's. Oh, okay, so that's
Yeah,
the.
download.
Yeah, maybe we'll download this and try uploading it. How about that?
Yeah, sure. Everyone loves Nobita
Exactly. There you
and
go.
Doraemon.
I mean, they've been our childhood.
Yeah.
Okay, so it
As
is.
you see,
It's a
quite
WebP
quick.
file. Yeah, sorry. You saying
And
something?
just click on. You can just click on that row and on the file name, and then you can view it.
Okay.
Again, you could see like the speed is quite fast, right? And let's say if you turn on the encryption on above the upload button, there's an option to even turn on the encryption.
Okay.
And now if you upload the same file again, if you upload a file, like the same Nobita file, now this will be a encrypted file. Oh, sometimes you have to refresh, or sometimes there's a cache. If you can refresh, then we need to
Okay, it's asking me to
some
connect
of this
to
user experience.
Polygon. However, let's go. There you go. I think it's no. My encryption was off.
There seems to be a bit live demos sometimes can be tricky. But yeah,
Yeah.
just turn on encryption. Yeah, let's
Let's
try
do it
right now.
once again.
But the key thing is, a lot of
I
people
think
say
it
that,
is.
oh, decentralized storage is here, but how can I use it? So this is one of the products that you can try and then,
There you
okay,
go.
now this is a private file. You can see
Yeah.
a lock icon in front of it. And now if you open it, you can select, let's say EVM, because that's what,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I
And then
think
you have to
it's
sign from a wallet and then the file will be decrypted.
this is interesting, man. I want to know more like so what's the free limit and everything.
Yeah, right now you get like 1 GB free. And yeah, so you can click on that EVM one. Click on that
Okay,
button EVM.
I thought it's
Yeah.
loading.
Yeah. Although it's a WebP file,
Yeah.
so we support like other files, but yeah, you get the gist of what it's doing. And we're working on the user experience part, but it's an initial
Get
version that
it.
you are seeing.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone gets 1 GB for free and would encourage everyone
Yes.
to go to Lighthouse or storage and check this out. But yeah, you can also buy plans, paid plans. And if you go above, it's an option that you get that it's annual or you can even buy lifetime. So lifetime is more like long term, you need not pay again and again. And annual is like once a year
So
storage.
it's
So
like
this is
$500 for 150 GBs lifetime.
it is lifetime, yeah. So
Interesting.
it's like economical, quite economical. But as compared to an RV would have been like triple of this amount
Yeah.
almost. And if you like, but yeah, if somebody is building any, let's say NFT marketplace, anything else, so feel free to contact me and then we can even give you some free, more storage quota to make sure that you are up and running, apart from the 1 GB free one as well.
I think I
And one
can.
interesting that you can do right now is if you go to the dashboard once,
There you
and
go.
if you just click on that row of encrypted file, yeah, just click here. Oh, no, don't click on the name, but click on,
On the row, right?
let's say this, yeah, click here once.
Okay.
And so here you can see all the details where it's created and the IPFS hash. And below there is this access control button on the right side, on the rightmost side.
Yeah, you're talking about this, right?
Yeah, go to the last one, like the rightmost.
I think this it says download. That's the
Oh,
yeah. I think it's
okay,
it's
but
some okay. I can do this. It's just Mac thing. Yeah, access control. Maybe what I
okay.
can do is I can.
If you add condition here, if you click on add condition, now what it means is it's an encrypted file, and who can access this file?
Okay.
So here I think you can set Shardeum as a chain as well. So if you go to Shardeum,
There are multiple
I know,
networks.
let's say Sphinx testnet, and then you can select that. Let's say .shm, if that's an NFT, you can select ERC721 NFT and
And
mention
then
the
contract address.
contract address.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might have to add the right contract address, and then you can mention comparator. It could be less than, equal to, or let's say greater than. Let's say I want people who have more than one SHM to access the file, one SHM domain to access the file. So I will
Interesting.
um, make the comparator as greater than. If you change the comparator, yeah, greater
Greater
than, and
than
then you can
one.
put up value as one. And then
And
again, you have to mention the
address as well.
NFT address and the contract address. And then when you create the success condition without even sharing the private key to the file, you can just share the link to the file, the private link. And if you satisfy that wallet condition, you should be able to just sign from a wallet and view the file. So, yeah.
I think
And
I
if you
yeah.
don't have, then it would say that you don't have access to the file. So
So
this is a very cool feature that many people are using.
you just
And
share
yeah,
it
if you
from
click on
here.
share as well,
Yeah.
yeah, then you can get this, yeah, this link that you can share to anyone.
I'll share
And if they
this with the
satisfy the
people.
wallet condition, they should be able to view the file.
I don't think they'll be able to access this at the moment.
Yeah, they won't be able
But
to view
yeah,
this. But if you maybe, yeah, if there is some contract which is deployed, this is live, it works.
I
So
think we
then you
can
can
share
try it
this
out.
one, even though it's a public thingy. Oh, sorry,
Hmm.
I did mistake.
So yeah, it's on IPFS and Filecoin. It's on IPFS. You can still download the encrypted file, but it's of no use until you decrypt it with the right key.
Sounds good. There's something called profile as well. Um,
Yeah, so we should add here more things, like
yeah.
let's say when you log in through your ENS, or maybe some other things that can come here, or manage your friends, families, and stuff.
Oh, we have a
Hmm.
light mode and dark mode as well.
Yeah, there's a dark mode as well. And then you have a list view and a grid mode as well on right side of filter.
Yeah,
I think some things that we have already done, but yeah, more things to be done.
definitely.
But
It's a
keep in mind that everyone was saying that, okay, we are hearing Filecoin, RV, and all of these amazing storage protocols from last 3 years, but how do I use it? Is it just for developers? But we realized that ourselves and we thought, okay, let's build it.
sounds good. I mean, it's interesting. It's super easy. It's easy for a person like me as well to use it. So,
Not just you, it
definitely.
could be even your family members who don't even have a wallet. You can even log in through Google and GitHub,
Yeah.
uh, email when you were signing up. So anything works there.
I think that's pretty much it. What I wanted to ask you. We do have like I do have one more question. It's about have you ever like have you tried running a node on Shardium?
Yeah, like I should. Like I haven't yet, but that's in one of my list. If somebody has run it, contact me. I want to know how.
So
I wish I should have. I would have, but I want to.
here's what we'll do. We have one more 15-day show or a bi-monthly show where what we do is we run a node with somebody who has never run a node on Shardium. It's called anyone can run a node. So maybe you can be a part of that thing and you can just run a
Next time
node
it's
live in front of people. So I think that's
yeah,
that
yeah. I would
yeah,
love
that
to.
can be interesting.
Yeah, it's been quite some time that I run a blockchain node,
Mm-hmm.
so that will be fun. Like, yeah.
Let's do it next month, somewhere around next month, and I think yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait. I'll just then next month I'll be giving a demo on how to do it. I'll run it next week.
Let's do it next week then.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. So I think that's pretty much it. It was really nice having you. Nice having you here, man. If you have anything that you'd like to add before we conclude this, go ahead. We have so many people listening, so yeah. Oh, that's a mistake. That was a mistake.
Um. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But I would also love to put up uh, some of our socials if anybody wants to get in touch and build on the decentralized web. Which channel should I put it in?
So no, you shouldn't be
Uh,
put. There's this chat box here on the right upper hand. If you
okay.
see,
Yeah. I
yeah,
see that.
you can just
So yeah,
put it
I'm
there.
adding there even like Lighthouse Discord and my Twitter, and from my Twitter you can even find Lighthouse Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So would definitely encourage people to join in and ask questions around decentralized storage. You are on this Discord, so it means you are already are aware of smart contracts and what Shardeum is doing, but your application is not complete without storage. So let's do it together.
Thank you so much for being here, man. It was really nice. And thank you, everybody who joined. We'll see you in another episode of Dapp Library next week. Till then, bye, everyone.
Okay, awesome. Bye.